36 years old and I've never hit a deer in my life. And this past weekend on my way home, I hit a deer. It was a really big deer, and I was the only one on the road. And the deer started to run across literally as I was passing by it. So I had no idea until it went right in front of me. Impact. It was an immediate impact, but I saw it was a huge deer. Thank goodness the deer went underneath my vehicle and didn't flip over top onto the windshield, because that would have been. So anyways, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never had an accident like this. Like when I was a kid, I had a couple of accidents, but never have I ever had an accident with an animal involved causing the collision, right? So I get home. I know I'm going to have $1,000 deductible to pay, because it's pretty significant damage. Taking it into the shop today to have it evaluated and estimated. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put my Venmo down here in case anybody wants to donate $1. I have 20,000 followers. If anyone wants to donate $1 towards a solo single parent who just paid a bunch of money for her son's birthday, who turned 16, that'd be great. Because I don't have anything. I'm basically picking up a bunch of side jobs right now and selling items from my TikTok samples or my house to make $1,000, so that we're not struggling with money for food and stuff like that and electric. So anyways, one of my friends, she came over to look at the car, look at the damage, kind of check up on me, and she was like, everything always happens for a reason. And I was like, I agree with that. But sometimes things don't happen for a reason. Sometimes things happen, and regardless of it being for your greatest or highest good, God will always turn it into something for your greatest or highest good. Example, the deer came out of nowhere. I'm highly protected. My guardian angels were on double duty that night to make sure that deer was huge, and it actually went underneath my car. I already know that was God. Boom. But the next day I was planning on driving 2.5 hours to go to the lake, visit my family. So in one aspect, you could look at it as maybe God sent that deer to delay me from driving that next day, to delay me from having an actual accident that could have been, more dangerous or fatal. That's one way to look at it. Send one thing to delay my ability to go somewhere that would have caused something else. That's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is maybe having this deer run into my car. Sometimes that's just life, but God can turn that into something good for me. So maybe, instead of being worried about how am I going to get the money to fix my car, it's more like, I wonder if this happened for a specific reason. Like, maybe God will turn this into a specific reason for me. Like the shop I take my car to, maybe there's a connection there that I'm supposed to meet. The opportunities I get to make money from posting on social media is to be like, hey guys, I have all of these services I can offer you. You don't have to give me free handouts. I am very talented. I can work to make that money. And you want to have opportunities. You never know what kind of opportunities are going to come up from me reminding people of all the things that I do. You never know if God's going to be like, here, you had a really high car payment. I have gap insurance. I don't think this is totaled. But hey, if it got totaled, I'd be able to get out of my current car payment, which is pretty high because I had to, switch cars and eat up more from the other car, having to switch over, right? Maybe God's like, here's your way out of that high car payment, and you can get a newer car, have a lower car payment. You never know what God can turn a seemingly bad situation into something that is going to bless you, that's going to help you. Because that's the thing, is not everything happens for a reason. Bad things don't happen to you for a reason, right? But sometimes God is protecting you through unfortunate circumstances. Whether it be protecting you from driving the next day like you were planning to, you never know what could have happened on that drive. Especially when it's 2.5 hours, to get to where I was going and back. 2.5 hours. So maybe God was protecting me on that specific drive. Or he's giving me opportunities through an unfortunate circumstance. And the $1,000, I'm not worried about coming up with it. Let me tell you something. I have had nothing my entire life. I have had nothing my entire life. And everything that I have is literally by my ability to keep faith and remain faithful regardless of what I see in my 3D realm. My bank account says no way, but I always know that God says Yahweh. Get it? Yahweh or Yahweh. That's mom joke. Coffee in my mouth. Don't judge. Anyway, so I have no fear of, I'll find a way. It's going to be okay. And a lot of the times it's not from people donating to my Venmo. It's from me picking up another extra job somewhere. It's from me having to get a loan sometimes and having to figure out how to pay off that loan so I'm not drowning in debt again. Ugh, I just got out of that, you know? Or it's any way possible for me to work. I'm always hustling, trying to find a way. And I'm like, God, you will help me take care of that. I'm not worried about that. You'll find me the opportunity. Or one of my passive incomes from working so diligently, one of my videos on TikTok will blow up and it'll give me that money I need. I know that it's possible, you know? I know that it's possible. One of my videos was giving me the money I would have needed. But then TikTok was like, oh, that's not acceptable. We're going to take that video down. I'm like, dang it. And then they're like, oh, we're not going to give you any of the commissions from that one video because you didn't earn it. So we're keeping that. What? TikTok? You crazy. You crazy girl. But instead of getting mad about that, I was like, whatever the enemy is trying to do to discourage me, God will transition and use it to encourage me. And I'm always like, Jesus, use me as an example to show others why you are so good. Use this car situation as an example. Use me as an example to show everyone why you are so good. Use me as an example to show the enemy why he needs to stop putting his hands on me. Use me as the example to give people hope and inspiration. Use me as the example of how good you are, how big you are. And he shows up every time. Regardless of, most of the time, I'm not the person who gets a free car given to me, even though I've seen it happen to so many people, like so many other single moms out there. We're giving you a car, and it's funny because I know a lot of those single moms, and I knew how much more I was trying in comparison, you know, and how much more thankful I would have been in comparison, but I never got mad at them for getting it and me having to work 4 jobs to have my car, you know. I never got mad and never compared. I was always thankful for the extra job God gave me that allowed me to take my son with me so I could work that job and barely make ends meet, but ends were being met, you know? Like, I don't like this car I'm in, but God, thank you for letting me have this car. Boom, he's giving me another car later. God, I'm so tired of working 4 jobs, but thank you that I have these 4 jobs. Boom, I'm going to give you a job that could cover your basic needs with 1, you know? God is faithful. And it's not me being so brave and courageous and inspirational. It's just me having faith in the God that I serve. Having the means and ability to protect me and to help me. I mean, if he can send a whale to eat a human and then spit them up on the other side of the ocean, surely he can send a whale to give me a huge abundance and help me simply get my car fixed. It's that simple. If you really think about it. If you think $1,000 deductible is impossible, did you forget the God that you serve opened up the sea and people walked through it? Isn't that crazy? Fire tornado down? God is so much bigger than we give him the capability and the credit for in our day-to-day lives. But when we recognize how big he is, the things that we think are big are not actually all that big. They're pretty simple. They're pretty easy and effortless for him to take care of. It's just having the faith that, you know, whether it comes in through an opportunity, whether it comes in through an unexpected source of income, whether it comes in through a gift, whether it comes in through whatever means, God will find his way to show you why he is good and to use you as an example to show others why you follow him, why you have favor, why you have faith, why when everything seems to go wrong, it's always working out to better your life. God is good all the time and all the time. God is good. Thank you, Timothy Joe, my old pastor in heaven. Regardless of what you see, always keep doing life with hope.